Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and today it is the second Saturday of the month and it's March, my goodness, and so that means I'm scrapping with Mel and we're going right back to the beginning of Scrapasketch sketches and we're up to day 8. So we've got week 8's sketch here and we're going to use it today, and it is a 3 photo sketch. So I am using mine to create another page for my Dragon Dance collection that I witnessed at Chinese New Year this year. So I'm just preparing my base for this layout, and I'm going to have a little bit of a 1/4 inch frame around it. I'm going to use that striped paper in the background, and then I have this orange Vicky Bouton paper here, which you can't tell very much, but there is a little polka dot in it, and it's got a darker orange in that. So I'm contemplating whether I actually want to take out the middle of that striped paper, and I eventually do that, realizing that I do need it for another project. So I'm just going to distress the edges to add interest. I was going to ink it, but then I thought, no, I'll just distress it with the paper distresser, and that will give it enough of a lift off that frame. So as I said, I did think about it, and I then pulled that striped paper and took out the center of it. So once the frame is in place, I can then start building on the layout. Now, this is always a good way to stretch your stash, especially if you're on a tight budget, and in today's economy that's very much so. If you're just beginning to scrap and you only have a few pieces of paper, this is also a great way to extend it and get more on your layouts for your dollar, really, basically using better your products so that you are actually maximizing your usage. So once this square goes into place, I can then start working on the main detail of the layout. Now, I forgot to distress the edge there to match the outer one, so I'm just going to quickly run my distresser across the edges. Now, if you don't have a distresser, you can use your fingernail or you can use the edge of your scissors, and it gives you the same effect. It's just to actually just rough up the edges of the paper. Sandpaper will do the same thing, except it will take a different overall feel to it. Now I have this round circle template that I'm going to trace because that's going to be the circle part of the sketch, and I have my 3 photos which I have already matted onto a burnt orange colour, just to give another dimension to the colours on this layout. Now, I'm just roughly placing where they're going to sit. Now, Mel does this all the time. I watch her do it, and I think I really should do this. So, Mel, nod to you. I'm doing what you do. I trace around the photos so that I can actually put in like a distressed background or a smoky background to give it a bit of a glow. And because it is the Dragon Dance, I wanted it to have that bit of a glow effect. So I'm going around the circle and I'm tracing around where the photos are sitting. And I am using the Wild Honey for this one. And I'm just inking it up a little bit, and I'm just trying to smooth out. Now, I'm not worried in this part here. You'll see that I'm using the lumberjack, but I'm doing it a bit darker in the middle there where the photos will cover it up, because I don't want it so dark overpowering the orange. I just want it to be hints of the red, like a flame, and like a dragon's flame. So now that I've done that, I can put down my 3 photos, and I'm just going to place them into alignment. And you can see here, these are the dragons before the dancers stepped into them. So I really do love the richness of the photos, and this layout lends itself beautifully for them to be used. Now, I am using some Scrapasketch labels here. These have come from the Christmas, I think they are, the Season's Greetings or something like that, range of printables from Lisa. They are the right colours. They're in the bright reds and the yellows and the oranges, and they're the colours that I'm using to create focal points around the pictures, sorry. I've got these labels here with the white, and that picks up the white in the stripe, and then it allows me to have my centre points, which I will build clustered to. And I'm just layering it, because layering is a good way of adding depth to the layout. Now you can see that that glow around the photos just adds that little bit of extra interest to the layout without overpowering. I'm using this die cut here of a lantern, which I'm going to hang from the rim of the circle, and that's just going to be in the place where Lisa has on her sketch the butterflies. And I have added those labels and as an extra for myself, just to build interest, as I said, to that very plain background. Now I have cut out on my dies the title, and I've run them through my Xyron sticker maker. That way they don't leave any mess on the layout as they stick, and they can just, I know that they're going to stay down on this layout. And this one is called Embracing the Dragon, and that's a little bit of a pun for those dancers, because really the dragon embraces them. And they do come out of those dances so hot. They're very, very, very good athletes. They have lots of stamina to maintain those dances. And these ones that we were watching, these were the juvenile dancers. They were learning how to do it. They were amazing, and hats off to them. Their stamina is phenomenal. So, sorry there. I've added some flowers here at points around the layout, and I have done in 5 points, because normally I would have 3, but I'm doing 5 because the odds are important to keep it balanced for the eye. Now I'm just going to add some leaves in behind these, and I am keeping them in the oranges, and I've had a piece of paper that was sitting to the side that was orange with a bit of yellow in it, and that just keeps the colour theme throughout the layout consistent. And I'm just liking how this is coming together. Now these 2 single ones that I have sitting there, I'm putting the double leaves on, and then the ones that have got the square behind them, I'm just leaving them as single leaved. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of a test with my markers here, just to see the best colour for my circle, and I have that strip there to test it on, so I come up with the right colour, and I'm thinking that's it there. I think that bronzy colour is the one I want. So I'm going to just come back to that bronze one, make sure I've got it, and then I'm just going to trace around the circle with the bronze. It blends beautifully with the colours on the layout, but it also blends beautifully in with that shadow reflection with the ink that I had put through and added to the background of this layout. So I'm just going to thicken up that line now, just to make sure that it is quite distinctive and quite standing out for the layout. And that pen is a permanent marker, so it's perfect as it is. Now, silly me put down my Nuvo drops first, and then I realised that I needed to add in some faux stitching around the edges, just because I wanted to finish off that frame a little bit more. And I've got the bronze colour gel pen to do that. And that's adding in those faux stitches around the edge just to finish off the framing, because I like to add that little bit extra and finish it off and make it look complete. Then I also decide that I'm going to put a line of faux stitching around the circle, just to further enhance that circle as a feature. And that's when I realised I'm going to add some ink splatters, and I've got that Nuvo drop already on place, and that's a bit of a problem. But okay, it's Nuvo drops, I can always add more, and I'm just putting down the covers over my photos because I do not want the ink splatters all over. And I'm using a rose gold from Kaisercraft as my ink splatter, and you can see there that I am picking up a bit of the Nuvo, and that's okay, I will fix that up in a moment. So I'm just adding these ink splatters to add some more detail to that background, just to give it a bit more interest instead of being so flat. And then I can go back with my Nuvos and top them back up again. Now I'm looking here, and I'm adding 3 dots in under the title just to add interest, and then to further enhance that circle I'm just going to do clusters of 3 dots around in a set of 5 that matches the 5 flowers, and then you can see there that that has all come together. And as a final point of interest, I put 5 dots onto the lantern. So now I am happy with the outcome of this layout. So you can see the title there with the ink splatters in the background. You can see the tiny little clusters that I've created, and those Nuvo drops around that circle really give it that little bit of an extra detail that is just that one more thing that makes it stand out as a unique layout. Don't forget, Lisa has Scrapasketch.com, where you can get premium sketches and all the printables. Go and check her out. We have a Facebook group. I'll put all the details down below, and she now has a Facebook shop, which is even better for you. So I'll put all those details down below. Remember, if you do want to purchase any of those, you can use my code KathyLovesTheScrap10 at checkout to get your discount. But this is a hop that Mel and I do. Thanks for watching. Check out what Mel's done. I'll put her details